Hello everyone, you all look amazing. I want to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners. I want to acknowledge the Wurundjeri and the Bunurong people. And I want to say, and I want to acknowledge all First Nations people here tonight. And this week, as much as any, this carries special weight because we have seen not only neo-Nazis in a place not very far from here choose to spew their hate. We also then saw a person who wanted to be Prime Minister take up that bile and spread it on the national stage. And it is more important now than ever to reaffirm that this always was and always will be First Nations country. That sovereignty was never ceded, and that we've clearly got a long road to walk to ensure that we acknowledge the violence and dispossession that lies at the beginning of this country that we call Australia. And we recommit ourselves here, just as we have throughout the whole campaign, to that process of truth-telling that is absolutely necessary to combat the kind of misinformation that Peter Dutton and others routinely spread, so that we can begin to heal as a country, as we understand what colonisation has meant for all people in this country, and begin to heal, so that we can then move forward by having treaty with First Nations people in this country that recognise. I just want to begin by thanking all those amazing people across the country in their huge numbers who voted Greens, many of whom voted Greens for the first time tonight. I want to say thank you to all the renters and first home buyers who understood that something is wrong in this country when we give more support to someone who's got 10 homes to go and buy their 11th than we do to someone who's struggling to buy their first. I want to thank all the young people in this election where Gen Zs and Millennials are the biggest voting bloc for saying we have had enough of governments burning our future, of putting housing, education, across the I want to thank everyone who voted for a safer climate and said it is not good enough that in the middle of a climate crisis, as we're hitting 1.5 degrees, that Labor backs and approves 30 new coal and gas projects. And I want to thank all of those people who came out to vote for peace in Palestine. Here, who said, as many of us have, that when there is an invasion taking place of an area half the size of Canberra, where 2 million people are walled in with nowhere to go, that unleashes a slaughter. And it was wrong for our government and our opposition to back that and call it self-defence, because that was not self-defence, that was a slaughter. And we have seen our government, when war crimes have been committed elsewhere, take steps. When Vladimir Putin invades Ukraine, we take steps, we call it out. And many people have said, why hasn't that been done here? We are just asking for consistency, we are asking for basic humanity, we are asking for international law to be upheld, and today your votes will be upheld. There's obviously some more votes to come in, and so many people voted early. One thing is clear though, is that we have kept Dutton out. said very clearly, we do not want Trump-style politics brought to Australia, and Australia has agreed. You're fired! And Peter Dutton lost his seat. And there may be a bit of a lag between the information that's coming up there and what's on the website, is that it looks like, as we're sitting at the moment, is that in the face of a collapse in the coalition vote, the Greens vote has increased. And I want to congratulate also Anthony Albanese and Labor on their campaign, because we are now in a situation where very clearly we saw someone try, as the mask started to slip in the final week of the campaign, and we saw the face of hard right hate start to appear in Peter Dutton and the billionaires who backed him. And we saw them as they rapidly tried to spin away from bringing Trump-style politics to Australia when everyone knew what their real agenda was. The whole country has resoundingly said, we do not want that here. We do not. And I am very, very proud that we have played such a strong role in that. Now, as I said, it's going to take a little while to know what is happening across the country. As I said, some of the information that you're seeing on ABC, there's actually been Anthony Green, probably not the send-off he wanted to be talking about data lags on national television, but what we do know is that our vote is held up and gone up. What does this mean for the individual seats for the Greens? Well, one thing we know is that the Greens are back in force in the Senate, and are going to play a key role. We also know that there's going to be a number of seats that are going to be too close to call, and maybe too close to call tonight. And I want you to remember that last time a number of the seats, including seats that we won, took quite a while to come in. So, if and when we have more information for you tonight, of course you'll get that, but there may well be a number of seats that are too close to call. One of the things that may happen is that as we see the two-party system start to decline and they embrace each other more and more, we may see the situation where some Labor MPs get elected on Liberal preferences. Right? We know that we've been here before, we have seen this before, the two major parties working together on preferences. So we will watch with interest and see whether or not that happens over the coming hours and over the coming days. And again, it is too early to call anything right now. But what I can say is that I would rather be in Samantha Ratnam's shoes than anyone else right now. And for all of you who have spent your time today, last week, last month, for the last few years, working so hard to say to people in this country, politics should be about reaching for the stars, like laying out a vision for the future, not just a battle of the band-aids, but actually getting to the real problems that this country is facing, so that everyone in this wealthy country of ours can have what they need to live a good life. To everyone who has said that something that should be so common sense needs to be at the core of our politics, and who has given up time to have those conversations, I want to say thank you. Because we have campaigned for solutions that we know will help millions of people in this country. Getting dental into Medicare, getting real help for rentals, getting 50-cent public transport fares, free childcare. wiping student debt and real climate action that means not opening new coal and gas mines. Thank you for campaigning for all of those policies. We have dragged the debate onto issues ignored by the major parties for far too long. Dental into Medicare is now something everyone is talking about. Making sure that the playing field is level for renters and first home buyers so that they have the same chance to own a home as previous generations. This is now a matter of national discussion. Climate, stopping native forest logging are firmly on the agenda because of climate. And in a sign that we're really having effect, our pressure has adopted the government to take on some of our policies, like making supermarket price gouging illegal, like tripling that bulk billing incentive, something we've been pushing for months so that in this wealthy country of ours everyone can see the GP for free. And in this new parliament we are going to be holding to account to make sure that this promise of delivering a better future for everyone is enacted, because it is one thing to say it as a slogan during an election campaign. It is another thing to have the guts to take on the big corporations and billionaires in Parliament and make the changes we need to ensure that in this country everyone has the future they deserve. And we will be there bringing that pressure to bear on them. And one thing I am so incredibly proud of is that throughout this campaign, we have held true to our values. We have campaigned for peace. We have called out racism. We have outlined a vision for a future for all of us. So to the tens of thousands of volunteers who've helped us run the biggest campaign in Greens history, thank you. Thank you all of you. Person in this room and elsewhere who's watching this who have just fought their guts out to fight for a fairer future for all of us, thank you. Thank you so much. And because of all of the work that you've done, and because of the incredibly strong roots that our movement has, and because of the powerful position that we are going to be in the next parliament, I look forward to a few more years of us all now fighting for a better future for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you again to Adam Bandt for representing us and taking a lot of flack on our behalf and standing up for what we're believing in. Thank you, Adam Bandt. Remembering that tonight is a celebration of an enormous campaign and the strength of our movement.